All right, Zach, let's start with our first story, the consequences of street protesting. Zach, the president visited Sacramento, California, I think to do basically a meeting where all the wildfires going on in California, something we touched on last week. And of course, where the president goes, protesters will follow. And there was a California highway patrol vehicle going on here. This is a story from BuzzFeed News. A law enforcement vehicle sped forward after a demonstrator climbed onto the hood, knocking them to the pavement during a protest against President Donald Trump when he visited California on Monday. Let's show this video here, Zach. Okay, so here we go. We're somewhere off here in the middle of the street here in Sacramento. We've got people surrounding the cop car. Guy in red hat climbs on.
And then tries to stand up.
See you later. No. And then, yeah.
I wonder if that other highway patrol guy stopped, slowed down all of a sudden. Like, damn, should I stop the car and get out? And he just kept going. He's like, I'm not getting in the middle of this. He probably turned to make sure the guy was moving, and then just kept riding away.
Yeah, exactly. And so we get, Now, keep in mind the context here is this is on the heels of there was those two police officers in LA who were shot just sitting in their car.
Yeah.
Now I want to clearly we had a humorous reaction to this. Now I think it does bring up a larger topic of, because I think we've seen this around the country where people protest in the middle of the street. So where do you think the right of way lies in this sort of a circumstance? I mean, what would you do? I try to put myself. Now certainly there's cops.
Yeah.
What a cop would do, but what would an average citizen do? And I think it's a little bit dicey. I don't know how I would react if I was driving through, say, a major road or something, and suddenly at an intersection or somewhere are 30 or 40 people. Oh, yeah. What do you do?
I don't know. But in this specific video, I mean, it's an emergency vehicle, right?
Yeah.
What if there was an emergency? This cop had to get somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? Don't block him. But even then, when he's riding, don't jump on the hood of a moving vehicle, man. Someone told me a while ago, sense isn't so common anymore. And that makes so much sense when you watch this video. But I think about that. You see videos of people like protesting in the streets and blocking traffic. I can remember there was it wasn't a 5K necessarily. It was like this kind of like walk for cancer thing I did for someone in my family. And I remember it was in downtown Baltimore City. And at one point, I mean, you had to walk across the street and they blocked the entire street for this walk, right? But there was it's not like the street was actually closed, right? You know how like in marathons and 5Ks, how they'll actually close down a street? It wasn't like that. It wasn't like they actually closed down the street, but there was still like people there like blocking the intersection. So like no one could drive. Right. So that the walk could happen and people were like out of their cars, like losing their minds. Like, I think like Wicked was in town that weekend and like some guy was like, I got tickets to a show. I can't get to the theater and like all this other shit. But they just had to sit there while like thousands of people like walked across this big street. You know what I mean? This giant pileup. So I mean,
got to do a better job in that case.
Yeah. Right.
So nobody got plowed into though.
No one got plowed into
that's good.
Day. So, I mean, it's a difficult situation. I'm glad that I've never been in one of those situations because I hate being stuck in traffic.
Oh, yeah. I hate red lights.
Yeah. I guess, and like, when do they end? I always wondered about that. Like, when does it end? You know what I mean? Like I guess I compare it to like people that get stuck in traffic that get involved in like a massive like 18-car pileup and you can't go anywhere or do anything. You just have to sit there in your vehicle and just wait. I would assume it's the same thing if you're a protester and the protesters block the road. Like, okay, I guess I can't go anywhere. Like, I'll just wait for this to clear up. But what's the deciding line? Like, when does it get cleared up? You know what I mean?
I mean, in my opinion, you don't have a right to stand in a road. I mean,
that's the tough, and I don't. There's no laws about that either. Like, right? Is there any laws that say you can't do that?
I don't know. I mean,
you know what I mean? Because it's a public street.
At minimum, that's jaywalking, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. You can't just you can't just stand anywhere in the road. You have to use the crosswalk
and the sidewalk. You don't just I mean, as a citizen, I have a right to drive on a road. I mean, now this is. I mean, we've even seen this on highways. I'm sure you've seen this. There was one where someone just barreled into somebody on a highway. I don't know where. I think this was in Georgia.
He was the only car on the highway too, because the police had blocked off the exit ramps to get onto the highway.
Somehow he
got on, and he was like fucking flying like 100. He was because he was like, "There's no other car on here. I'm flying. I'm going as fast as I want." All of a sudden, he saw people and couldn't stop fast enough, and that. I mean, yeah.
And kaplunk.
Yeah.
So I think, well, certainly, I mean, you get what you kind of had it coming here, right? For a cop car.
He jumped right on top of the car.
Jumped right. I mean, what's the nerve here, right? That I can, now I'm on your car, so you have to stop. I mean, I don't think this would be a good precedent to set. So I'd say cops hit the gas. Average citizens, I think it's a little more dicey about hitting the gas in this situation. You hope you don't get through it, but it is, to me, I mean, I think the car is in the right to at least have an intent to proceed. I mean, you don't want to
like slowly creep or something. You know, I mean, there's some people that like crowd the car and they're slowly trying to creep through. You know, just like, all right, you can protest, sit around my car, just let me slowly get by you. You know what I mean? But people will, like you said, jump in this instance, jump on the hood and like try to specifically, you know.
Well, it's
like almost like they're trying to get run over because you know. So
yeah, right. I mean, what do you I guess you got what you asked for in a sense. I mean, you jump on the car. What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah, exactly.
And then what if you're sitting there and you're in a crowd and they're banging on your door, they're banging on your windows. I mean, it might get a little. You know, that's kind of how like people panic and make stupid decisions. You know, and people end up hurt.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. People make stupid.
I don't know how
when people are threatened, when people feel threatened like that, they make really rash decisions. You know, someone feels sitting in their car and feels threatened, they're going to hit the gas and they're going to drive.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you got like maybe a baby on board or something like that, you're going to feel even more threatened and panic even more, and maybe slam on that gas, and you know somebody ends up run over or something.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's all we had. Was basically this segment was a video of a man getting run over by a police car.